One night, I found out that one of my 17th dad brothers, partners, friends, sister braided hair. This was back in the 90s, and I had long hair, braids, that is. Sometimes it was hard finding people to braid your hair, but I found out that his sister braided hair. So that was cool. I got her phone number. I called. I set up an appointment to get my hair braided. It was cool. I went there. She was cool, so I sat down. You know, she was braiding my hair. I guess her boyfriend walked in. I don't know. I'm not sure if he was Jamaican or not, but I think so. But he had an accent. Jamaican, Trinidad, Haitian. I'm not sure what he was. But he sat down. He offered me a beer. We started smoking weed and drinking beer. And after about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, he told me, yo, man, you cool runnings. He said, I usually don't, you know, conversate with people, guys, who come here to get their hair braided from my ladies. I keep my distance, but I get good vibes from you. So I was like, cool, So after that, it became like a weekly or bi-weekly thing. But I noticed, that his woman, was giving me certain looks, and only the looks that a guy know that look. When a female, is feeling them. So she began to call me sometimes, off and on. We would chop it up, but I would always tell her, yo, I can't do nothing with you. I met your boyfriend. I got a cardinal rule. I don't mess with nobody, girlfriends, baby mothers, wives, if I know them, if I know you. I never been like that. I think one time in my whole life, I messed with somebody I know, woman. One time in my whole life. And I carry that like a badge of honor. Because these days people have no morals. They have no trust. It's nothing like that. Everybody is messing with everybody. Somebody could be messing with your wife and know you, or messing with your husband. They don't really care. But I never been like that. I learned that from my brother. He said there's too many women out here in the world to mess with somebody woman. So anyway, she would call me periodically and we would chop it up. She would try to get me to come over, and I would always shut it down. Like, I met your man. I broke bread with him. I drunk with him. I smoked with him. And this went on for a minute, and I went and got my hair braided probably every other week or something like that. And one night, back in my Hennessy days, she caught me. She called me maybe like 11, 12, or 1 in the morning, and I was on 17th Ave one of the nights out there when we was drinking that Hennessy. And everybody know what Hennessy do to you. When you drink Hennessy, it's only two things you want to do: fuck or fight. And she called me one night. I'm on 17th Ave. I'm tossed. She told me that I want to come over. I said, yo, I keep telling you I know your man. She like, no, we broke up. He got locked up or something like that. I really can't. Either he got broke up or she kicked him out or he got locked up. I can't remember. So anyway, with the Hennessy in my brain, I decided to take a leap of faith and go over there. So that's what I did. So, I jump in my Jeep. I had a Suzuki back then. I jump in my Jeep. I head over to her house. I back into the driveway. with my Suzuki. I got the top down. I got on some it's summertime, but I got on Timberland boots and some shorts, a tank top. I go in the house. She's in the house. Her, her sister, and her sister baby. We smoking weed, we watching movies. You know, everything is everything. We having a good time. Sometime during the night, we all drift off to sleep. I drift off to sleep. She drift off to sleep. Her sister drift off to sleep. The baby drift off to sleep because we all in one big room. Sometime during the night, I wake up. You know, I get a little touchy. I start touching on her, rubbing on her. You know, I'm telling her to tell her sister to go into the other room. She's trying to wake her sister up to go in the other room with the baby. But, you know, I guess her sister, you know, ain't feeling it. You know, I'm not sure why or what happened, but her sister wasn't getting up. Okay, cool. She tells me to get up and go in the other room. All right. Now it's dark in this house. I don't know my way around, you know, so I get up. I got on my boxers. I just got on. Now I'm down to my boxers. The shorts is off. I'm trying to feel my way. You know, to the living room or the other room or wherever we was going. So I got my arm reached out in front of me, and it's dark, and I'm walking and I'm feeling on the walls, and then all of a sudden I bump into something. I really didn't know what it was, but as I stepped back, I looked up and I seen something silver in the air. It was her man. And he had a knife in his hand, and he had a knife over his head. All I heard him saying was, "Bitch, you was gonna fuck him, wasn't you? You was gonna fuck him, wasn't you, bitch? Bitch, you was gonna fuck him." He's screaming this shit over and over and over. "Bitch, you was gonna fuck him." She runs, pulls out a big ass knife from under her pillow. Now she runs toward him. When he holds his hand up with the knife to stab me, I fall backwards over a table. Boom, hit the floor. I'm trying to scramble backwards. She runs in front of me. Now he got a knife pointed towards me. She runs in front of me to defend me, and she got a knife pointed toward him. While I'm on the floor trying to get my bearings right and get my mind right, he's steady screaming, "Bitch, you was gonna fuck him, wasn't you?" And all she was screaming was, "Jay Sean, you ain't gotta go nowhere. Bitch, you was gonna fuck him. Jay Sean, you ain't gotta go nowhere. Bitch, you was gonna fuck him. Jay Sean, you ain't gotta go nowhere." I grabbed my Timberlands. I grabbed my shirt. And I'm trying to get out the door. I finally make my way to the door, and when I make my way to the door and I look back, he's standing there with a knife. She's standing there with a knife. They was like sort of like in a Mexican standoff, you might call it, or something like that, you know. And I run out the door, I jump in my Jeep, and I pull off. But what I thought about at the end was I did hear my alarm going off on my Jeep. That should have been a red flag that maybe he was messing with my Jeep or something, but I did hear the alarm a couple of times. The moral of the story is what? Don't never trust a woman who got her own apartment and tell you that her man is in jail, or she kicked him out, or they broke up. Make sure you know 100% before you take your ass over there. Or you might not leave there. Or you might leave, but you'll leave in a body bag.
They might call you a gold digger. Baby, I call you a gold getter. You put that work on your body. Yeah, you got a pro figure. I got these bands in my pocket. Yeah, they stack like a pro figure. Two bosses moving together. We don't chase it, we go get it.